Hi Pisces, welcome to your July 2016 love reading. It's Rena here, and shuffling some cards. Maybe I'll just go like this, but then I can't get this in frame. Gosh, I keep getting this card in different positions. And I got that one before too. So when I get a card that's kind of not a resolution that we look at, I pick from the bottom of the deck. So I've just gathered all these cards. What's at the bottom is the Moon card. Wow, okay, I like that one. Okay. So the energy for this time period, let me just go like this, why don't I? Now it might be a little bit tilted, but at least you can see it better. Anyway, the overall energy is the Six of Cups. So this can, definitely relate to children. For some people, that's what is foremost on their mind as they're dealing with a particular marriage or new romantic relationship. For some people, maybe it's a question of wanting children. But it's a nostalgic card, so a lot of times it looks back on situations, the childhood. It's funny, this seems like the focus wasn't there. So it's looking back, it's seeing an idyllic time, a time when life was simpler, and it's really a great card for knowing exactly what you want in a relationship, especially if you've been dealing with more of a complicated situation that created a lot of stress. And so that kind of tells me that it's a newer relationship. It's not something that you just have been in for a very long time. Now, it could also symbolize somebody who is from the past, like, your high school sweetheart or something like that. Let me talk about the recent past, is the Seven of Pentacles. So it could have been someone who, I was just thinking, that looks like George Harrison. That just came into my mind. It's an earthy energy because it's somebody who's waiting for the harvest to come in, but it can relate to earth signs. And I mean, if we take it on that level in terms of people you're dealing with, maybe you were with an earth sign and now you're interested in a water sign individual. As a Pisces individual, both of these elements are compatible with you. So I could see you being with either one of those elements. So that would mean that the past relationship with somebody with either a sun, rise, or rising sign in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and now you're interested in a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces individual. But it can also just indicate that you've been kind of waiting around to see if a relationship would be, viable. And maybe you are in that initial stage, and these two cards are kind of showing that beginning. But it seems like it's a very positive beginning. The message from the universe is the Seven of Wands, which indicates standing up for yourself. And this is something that Pisces struggle with sometimes, or I should say some of you. I shouldn't just make a blanket statement on that, but it is something that tends to happen. And in the relationships that you have, it doesn't matter how abusive somebody else is. You feed into that with your own tendencies. So you have to take responsibility for your part in any situation. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that if somebody is very seriously abusing another person, that they are, 50-50 to blame. But I do believe that it takes two. And sometimes people allow themselves to be disrespected over and over and over again, and they don't have an insult level. And this card is about having self-esteem and also self-preservation, that you're not going to tolerate anything less than what you deserve, which is good. You deserve good things. I got to put my crystals in order, but it's hard based upon where I'm situated. So anyway, there could be somebody also who is a fire sign who is in the mix and is maybe somebody who is a positive influence on you, and it doesn't have to be in the love arena. Maybe it's just somebody who is protecting you or otherwise has your best interests at heart. But I really see this as a very kind of an aggressive energy. So I'm thinking of you kind of battling back against some sort of encroachment on your own personal freedom or on your dignity as a human being, and hopefully this card can suggest that you can have something much more innocent and a simple joy in life. The card that represents the energy that may not be quite at the surface yet, maybe in the subconscious, is the Six of Swords. So this may be that you are, at one point going to possibly leave. If you're with this person, and it happens to be an earth sign relationship that isn't working, you might be already gone, but for the actual physical leaving. This is a card of going to more harmonious environs. And so, because it's in the hidden influence position, it's probably something that is up and coming and not manifested at this time. What is manifested is the Eight of Wands. I keep getting certain cards over and over again, even after I shuffle. So it is a card of sudden changes and for the better. It's something that you're going to have to decide, though, because you might get opportunities, for instance, even career-wise, and you have to be able to leave, and maybe this will help because you already have that hidden desire of leaving, and just kind of go with it, and maybe that's where you will find the love of your life, or even be able to go back and visit somebody from your past. But it's a card of a lot of passion and potential, and something which, if you jump on it, given that it is a viable situation, of course, it can bring you into a much better place. But if you resist change and you want to stay where you are, then it will be very hard. And I get all of this kind of, what would I say, expansive energy, because this is the advice, is the Two of Wands. And this is about really making the decision whether you want something that is safe or something that is more emotionally fulfilling. And sometimes, as I notice, this happens a lot with the earth and water signs, is they tend to gravitate towards security more times than not. And it can, I understand why people do that, but on the other hand, it can lead to a passionless existence. And, you have all these wands in your reading. That's fiery energy, that's passion, that's being an entrepreneur, that is being creative. And Pisces is a very creative sign. So I hope that you won't allow fear to restrict you. Obviously, you should always research things before you just jump in, just to make sure that you're not being sold a bill of goods. But, if there is a viable opportunity, you might want to consider taking it. And the other thing, too, is you have so much natural, intuitive energy. Take advantage of that. The outcome is the Nine of Swords. Now, this is the reason that I picked the card that was at the bottom, because the Nine of Swords is about insomnia, anxiety, and, we don't want that to be the outcome. What I do believe, though, is that it can be the outcome if you do not heed some of the messages of this reading. And these are symbols. These are not like, set in stone kind of messages. But think about it. This card, for example, standing up for yourself. If you don't stand up for yourself, you will have sleepless nights. If you are in a situation where you're not happy, this card, and you don't leave that situation, you will have anxiety. I mean, it's just cause and effect is what I'm saying. I did pick another card, and I think this one kind of sums it up. The Moon card, our Major Arcana card, is a card that deals with the intuition, but it also deals with things not necessarily being what they seem like. Okay, and this is the other thing. Your ruler is Neptune, and Neptune can cast a hazy, misty veil over whatever is happening and can create illusion and delusion. Delusion is your own personal illusions clouding reality. And illusion is just kind of the general fantasy or otherwise situation that is not really happening as you perceive it to be happening. Now, in any of these scenarios, it's always wise to get as many facts as you can. When you're dealing with a person, especially if it's in the early stages, make sure that the other person is representing themselves exactly as they should be. Because some people, and I would suspect that a good number of them have Pisces prominent in their charts, or an afflicted Neptune, where they tend to be too gullible, to believe too much what people say, take it at face value, and not really, utilize their own intuition. They see things as they want to see them, not as they really are, and they end up with somebody who's a con man. And I hate to, attach man to it. A con artist is a better way of gender neutral expression. A con artist, somebody that is playing you and, preying on your sympathies, which are vast. So the Moon card can indicate deception. The Moon card can indicate intuition. And this is another thing that you have as a gift, and if you do not use it properly, it turns on you and it becomes rose-colored glasses. Seeing an alternate reality that is really just designed to keep you in, a kind of diluted state, and that is done by you so that you can not avoid having to deal with the situation as it is. So the other thing the moon card can indicate is that things are not as they seem, and there is more that you need to find out about a situation. If something seems too good to be true, you could be dealing with a con artist. You could be dealing with somebody who is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And you will gladly allow it because you want to preserve the fantasy. Pisces sometimes love fantasy so much. And this makes you very, very creative because sometimes reality seems too harsh for you. And it can be a coping mechanism as well. And so the moon card can indicate that, but it can also indicate creativity. Maybe it means that you are going to be with somebody who is a fellow artist, if you are an artist. There's many possibilities in all of this. But I think that there is passion awaiting you in July, and I hope you enjoy this, Pisces. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great July. Bye.